Well, good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Newburyport Historical Commission. Thursday, September 11th, 2025. We're in the Senior Center here in Newburyport and on Zoom. And please note this meeting, as with all city meetings, is being recorded. Let's start with a roll call. Andrew Bernard, I'm here. Rick, Mark Syndrome.
Present.
Thank you. And Scott Clark is absent, correct?
Yes.
Chris Fay and Alan Markey. All right, Ed Normer.
Here.
Thank you. Glenn Richards.
Yeah.
And Chris Hotels absent. And Chair myself, Bill Faust is here. Yeah, so we have 5 here. We got a quorum. Also present, Caitlin Sullivan here, and then on Zoom, Gretchen Joy, our note taker. All right, our first item is demolition delay, 13 Union Street. If applicants want to maybe come sit up on this corner here.
I got all the results.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Okay,
As
so,
long as you're involved.
okay, sit.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
Be
that's fine.
comfortable. Before we get started, I just let you know, just kind of the procedurally, for demolition delay. First, the commission determines, if the structure is historically significant. And then if it's historically significant, and considered for preservation. And if it, passes both of those, then, we would go into, review, any of the demolition plans. So to begin with, we'll just be, speaking on just the history of the home, so. If you would like to give your name and address for the record and just give us some historical aspects of the home and.
Just 1 second, let me load up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Caitlin, that's your presentation. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Sean Mindus. I'm the owner of Andy and Son. We're a remodeling and design build contracting company. I've been hired by the Collins to do a 2nd-story addition at 13 Union Street with the intent to get us another bedroom. Right now, they're a little bit overburdened. Living in about 700 square feet, 400 square feet of sleeping area. So they desperately need another bedroom. As far as the history of this home. Let's see. So we are a 1.5-story home that was built in 1900. I have here.
It's like 1850.
1850, okay.
On the slide, yeah.
So we are R2 zone, DCO, the zoning district. 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 867 square feet. As I mentioned, we have about 440 square feet of sleeping area. Of which that's dramatically cut down by the 8-pitch roof. Because it's a 1.5 stories, the roof line takes up most of that square footage. Let's see. Yeah, so the house was built in 1850, as you said. Sits on a 3,100 square foot lot, 3,157 square foot lot, making it one of the smallest parcels on the street. And because of its shape, makes it difficult for us to meet any outward expansion and meet the zoning setbacks. So optimally, going up made the most sense.
How big is the house? Square footage?
867 total square feet of living space.
When did you buy it? October 2020.
So previously to them buying the home, they actually rented the home since 2014. And they were fortunate enough to be able to come to own the property in 2020.
How'd that happen? What was the situation?
Yeah.
The woman that we were renting from lived in Nahant. She lived in the house, I think, for maybe all of 2 years, owned it for a while. I think her life was changing, her husband was getting ill, it was during COVID, I think the whole world was a little uncertain. We've been asking her about, potentially doing it, because we love the space, and, he said, make me an offer, and we got over.
Alright, and do you have any other, anything like about the history of the home, to present?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I know a little bit of research that I did, the historical commission at some point it put it at, like 1870s circa build. And I did a reverse deed search and got back to, around 1890. And it looked like that's when it was a larger property, basically all the way down, to the, was it Woodwell?
Woodwell.
Yeah, and then all the way to water, that was all one property, so I'm guessing, and by the styling of it, it's more likely like 1870s, something like that. But, I don't know if, we need to start with, I guess, I think it's fairly easy, but if anyone would like to make a motion, the structure at 13 Union Street is historically significant,
Sure,
unless you have any other questions or.
no, I'll make motion that, it's historically significant.
I second it.
Thank you. All right, motion is that the structure at 13 Union Street is historically significant. Andrew Bernard,
Yes.
Mark Syndrome. Mark, can you hear us?
Like you're muted.
Yes,
Yes, okay, thank you. Ed Normer,
Yes.
thank you. Glenn Richards,
Yes.
and I vote affirmative as well, so that motion passes. I don't know if any other discussion, or if we just want to move on to, if it's considered for preservation.
As well.
Yeah.
We could vote on that motion, sure.
Did you want to make that motion or just somebody else? I mean, I can make it, but usually I wouldn't.
Well, since everyone just took a step back, sure. I'll do
Mark,
it.
did you have a
Yes.
comment?
yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think we saw all the pictures of the building and neighborhood, or maybe I missed that.
Want to run through your photos?
Sure, so if you wanna, it's page, so this is Union Street, first photo is west side traveling towards Lincoln Street. I'm sorry, and the second photo is the east side, which is side the home is located on, traveling towards Marlboro, I'm sorry, yeah. Next photo, please. These are some of the homes on Union Street and surrounding streets, which I captured to show very significant roof lines, which we have tried to copy in our design. I believe the one in the middle is Lincoln Street, which is probably the closest to what we've come up with in our design with the dormers and how they're set with the gable in the back. That particular picture is the rear of the house, which is what we would be doing for the Cullens as well. Next slide, please. And these are a few more photos. I believe the first one is on Lincoln Street. Well, that actually is on Union Street. Yep, it's at the end of Union Street. And the next one, I believe, is on Water Street. And again, these pictures are to represent very similar styles, roof lines, and architecture details for the soffits and fascia. Next slide, please. I think that's the last of the pictures. Yeah, so this is just to demonstrate walls to be removed.
What type of siding is on the house?
There is cedar clapboards with a roughly 4-inch exposure.
Is it, I'm sorry, to interrupt. Is this Google Street View fairly accurate as to its current status?
It is.
Okay. It's because we'd like to see just kind of the current state of the building, if any photos you had of that would be just helpful for this part of it. Is this helping you at all, Mark?
Yes.
He said yes. Yes, okay, great.
So which one is it, the one on the right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
Blue house with
The American flag.
Yeah.
Okay,
A little early with Halloween decorations.
Sorry.
A little bit early with the Halloween.
well, this is
decorations.
from October.
I think that was last,
2024. It has a date there, yeah. All right, well, unless we have any more questions, I'd like a motion to structure 13 Union Street is considered for preservation.
Yeah, I'll move that, structure should be considered for preservation.
I'll second the motion.
All right, thank you. Oops. All right, so the motion is that the structure at 13 Union Street is considered for preservation. Andrew Bernhardt,
yes,
Mark Sandro,
Yes.
thank you. Ed Neumer
Yes.
and Glenn Richards.
Yes.
And I vote yes as well, so that motion passes, so we now can move on to your plans. We have a public comment after they've presented their plans?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, if you'd like to,
So,
Shows your proposal.
this is our front elevation, which, other than what you see, beyond, which would be the, right side build out of the house, nothing would change on the front side of the house. Next photo. This is the rear of the house, and this is where most of the work would take place, by removing the gable on the lower build out of the house, which currently is their kitchen. It's 15 feet in depth by 12 feet in width. So we would be removing the roof line, the rafters and the ceiling joists. And there's a non-functional chimney, which that would get removed as well. And then the new addition would cover that entire space. The idea would to be bringing the entire gable that exists there now to where that kitchen wall is. So therefore, all those walls would be considered demo as well. The deck, which is there now, would be removed, and a much smaller deck would be on the back of the house, where right now it is also on the side of the house, and has created a non-conformity because it's within 9 feet of the setback. Our new proposal would keep us at 11 feet from that setback. Next slide. This is our left side elevation, showing that roof to be taken off on the first floor, and just the eave of the second floor, or the 4.5 above, where we would then tie in our addition, which would cover over that kitchen area, and then carry that roof line to that exterior wall as I just described.
is that octagonal windows are getting moved up?
No.
Or is it just
So,
just
I
the
apologize, I've been using Chief Architect now for 15 years, and I just upgraded from 11 to 17. And I had a difficult time. Timing was poor because I had a tough time taking my legacy drawings over to the new software. So I kind of had to Frankenstein some of my drawings to get them in here. The octagonal window is not moving.
Okay.
Staying right where it is.
That was one of my questions too.
Yeah, so there are a few things on here that I tried to correct, but it was very difficult for me to go from a drawing that I did
Sure.
6 months ago to.
As long as we're verifying this, on the front, it said there aren't any changes, but in the rendering, it did look different, like the front door, like the little brackets and stuff weren't there. Is that again, just?
Again, yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so all that architectural detail will remain.
That's correct.
Okay.
And there, I did notice that, at least from the Google Street View, there's another chimney on the main structure, is
That
that?
is correct, that is staying.
Okay, yes, okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, you have more, I assume, right?
Well. Sorry, can I say one last question?
Sure.
Can you go back to that one we were just going, what, it appears that there's like a doorway to nowhere. To the
So
left.
that is their basement access door.
No, not on the second floor.
So that is so we tried to just keep everything symmetrical. So they wanted to have a balcony there. So the door on the right is operational.
Right,
The panel on the left is non-operational.
so
So
it's basically a door size window.
that's correct.
Okay,
Yep.
I was wondering, if that's,
That's for when the kids was big.
yeah, it would work. Or just put a slide in. Okay, thank you, sorry for the interruptions.
Excellent. I think that was all of the covered on floor, correct? Oh, no, I'm sorry. This would be the right side elevation. And again, this is where more of the work would take place because of it being in the back and also out to the side. So we are looking to take that roof line off as we described, and there is a build out on the first floor that exists, which is 9 feet wide, it's 3 feet in depth. And we are looking to carry that across, which will tie in the, to the outside of that kitchen wall. Again, that deck is now been removed. And that is the, that is the structure that would now be at 11 feet from our setback. And in the center of that is a cantilever for a fireplace. This room would become their family room, or expand their family room. And so we're proposing to put a zero clearance fireplace on that wall.
Quick question, I assume that the actual, like the placement of where the dormer is in the roof is correct. Right?
That is correct, yes. Yep.
So it's,
So-
so it is set back quite a bit from the front, the street side.
It's set back 12 inches.
I mean, from the front street.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
yes, so I can tell you precisely, so that actually is where their bedrooms actually are, if you could just go back. So yeah, so that is the wall where their bedroom, where the bedrooms, the second bedrooms end and the master bedroom begins to the exterior of the house, so you can see it's quite small, and it is roughly 10 feet in the length.
And they're symmetrical on the two sides.
On both sides, correct.
Dormers, okay.
Yep, yep. So one of the things that I had to change, I've been working with planning on making some changes to try to keep it as in keeping with the rest of the neighborhood and with the dormer guidelines that you've adopted for the city. So we've changed a few things over the course of the last few weeks. But essentially, that gable that now exists on the second floor is going to remain as is. We're just building a new gable, which would sit over that first floor wall and the addition, the extension.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you,
So if you look at the first drawing, your second floor roof line,
right,
that gable wall right there, essentially, other than the overhang being removed, that gable wall is going to stay
right,
as is. New gable wall, which will mirror that gable wall, will be built on the end of.
so you're just extending.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
It's a renderings of it as well, right?
I think the last page I put a couple renderings in, yeah.
And you, yeah, I think you just updated those today. so,
Today.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I met with Jennifer Blanchett yesterday and she helped me with, again, originally we didn't have the roof line carrying through in front of the dormer. So we changed that on both sides and I had originally I had the dormer going all the way to the outside of the gable wall. We stepped that back in. I know that the city has adopted a guideline of 30 inches So I try to go at least half of that, so we're at 18 inches from that gable wall with that cheek wall of the shed dormer.
In the rear,
What's that?
you're talking about in the rear.
Correct, yes, yeah. And then obviously you're roughly
Right.
10 feet from the front,
Right.
yeah.
Was there any, sorry to keep peppering with these, was there any, was it really, really difficult / impossible to step the face of that, move it in even just 6 inches from the plane of the main wall below?
So the problem that we're presented with, again, because it's only an 8-pitch home, is those rafters really are taking up critical space, floor space in the house. So the shed is essential for getting any kind of living space up there. So even that, losing that extra 6 inches on the, actually 18 inches on that step back, does take away quite a bit of, because their bedroom's only gonna be 10 feet in depth. So just losing that extra 18 inches is considerable.
What's the kind of the reasoning, I guess, behind the addition onto the right kind of jogs out? I know the one is for the fireplace, but it seems to me it almost could have been, is that part of, are you trying to meet setback requirements that it kind of jogs out and jogs back in like that?
Like the cantilever?
That's just the cantilever for the fireplace, and it doesn't necessarily have to carry up to the roof line. We could have a small shed at just above wherever the fireplace was to tie in. I just thought aesthetically that looks more pleasing.
Is that what you're referring to?
Well, I mean, yeah, just that, you know, the current structure just has sort of
Right.
almost like a bay window sort of sticking out.
Right,
And now this has that stretched out, plus its own
right,
little pop out from it,
right.
and then it's got a little pop out, so that's kind of what I was.
So that
talking about.
that first jog from the original is the increase in the foundation.
Mhm.
So we've extended the foundation from what's there, roughly 2.5 feet. So that would represent that first bump out in the roof line.
Hmm.
And then the next roof line would be the cantilever for the fireplace, which again, we certainly don't, we could carry that fascia and soffit right across. And obviously we have to have some kind of coverage over the cantilever, so.
I was just curious about the design process, how you got there, if it was more of a setback issue or was design aesthetic. Let's see, well, let's have a little discussion, I guess, on what we think here. Mark, since you're virtual, do you wanna start off and give us any of your thoughts about this?
I don't have any major comments. I don't think the house is historically very significant. The changes are obviously pretty significant in terms of the dormers and the extension out onto the side, but given the nature of the house, I'm not sure that I would have major objections.
All right, thank you, Mark. Anyone else?
I mean, my sentiment is probably similar to Mark's. I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's gonna look different, right? It's gonna look, but I'm not sure in the city, it's such a historically significant house.
Your thoughts?
My thoughts are similar to Mark's. When I first saw the rendering, I was concerned about some of those details because it's an interesting situation in that, you know, like we were talking about the streetscape earlier, and you're quite right that well, just like most of, if not all of Newburyport, it's evolved quite a bit from the latter 19th century when that house was put up, right? So almost no houses purely as it was. But I think that with this addition, you want to, and it seems like you're trying to at least keep that sense of what, so that someone walking or driving down the street say, oh yeah, there's one of those Victorian era, late 1900s, you know, Victorians, and they, you know, they built it out a little bit, right? Whereas so many of them have been. So I think the only thing I really object to is I wish the dormers didn't go all the way to the same plane as the floor below. I understand your problem with that. On the other hand, it's somewhat mitigated by the fact that it is pushed further to the back. You know, it does have some, you can kind of see it because we've got that yard on the, towards the river that side and, you know, the driveway on the other side. So you can sort of see that this side here where you've got your changes and the fireplace and all that. But it is, you know, in the back and it's not like, it's not drowning the original house or anything. So, I think I agree with Mark and Ed that it's reasonable and I don't see any real grievous violations of, you know, interior standards or that kind of thing that I can point to as being like a really bad red flag. Especially since you've pointed out that, you know, that window in fact was not moving, what few details are there. And that's what I think Mark was talking about. There's only a few indications really of a certain style, like the brackets and the little thing over the doorway and so forth. So at least you want to at least keep what little is there to show what historically what it's all about. So those are my points.
And with that also, the gables are all built out, they all have cornice molding, a crown molding rather, and freeze boards, so we're going to match all of that detail, so.
All right.
Can you go back to the street view again? I was curious what if you go up to the front of the building, does it have there's a little detail up in the. Oh, okay. A little vent up in the eave.
I wasn't originally either.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll give my thoughts, I think they're a little bit different,
Okay.
when I first saw the plans before the revised ones today, I was really not liking it because of that eave line not being there, and being completely flush. We have these guidelines from they're from the city of Cambridge that we've kind of adopted, towards our guidelines as far as what we should look for in these. And if the top of the dormer is flush with the original eave line, then it should meet a bunch of the other standards, which are like 3 feet away from either end and at least 1.5 feet set back. And so when I first saw it, that it was like 3 or 4 of the things that are not recommended to do. So I think you've mitigated that. I think the skylight would be kind of questionable. Generally, they don't recommend putting like lights or windows in anywhere but the front kind of face of it. And if on the other side, you only have that one window in there, which is, I'm sure it's for privacy reasons, or I guess, but the guidelines there say that you should have at least 50% of the face of it have windows in it. Again, these are not things that, it's not a law, or it's not, you know, but they are guidelines that we're supposed to look at.
So I do believe, to your comments, I do
Sure.
believe I have room to add another window in the, could you go to the next one?
On the other side.
I'm sorry, other slide, there you go. I do believe I have room for another window, if that would help. And the only reason I really put the skylights in, originally, this project came to me, I do a lot of work with Brady Sunrooms. And they brought me in, their proposal was to put a sunroom on top of the first floor, which obviously never would have flown. I wanted to give them a little more light in the bedroom, but more so because of the fact that there is already an existing skylight in there, in the front of the house.
Sure.
And that is really necessary for light, that's their bathroom. And that is very necessary for them to have any natural light in the bathroom.
Sure. All right, my other comments were I think, well, one of the Secretary of Interior standards is that any new addition onto a historic building should be subordinate to it in size, style, massing, all that sort of thing, and also be congruent or, you know, matching in theme with the original building, but not match it completely. I think my problem with it is that if you came up to that, you would never know that the building used to end right there. And you could never put it back that way, which is another Secretary of Interior standard, that anything added theoretically could be removed without too much damage if somebody wanted to, bring it back to a specific time point. And yeah, I mean, I think those are my biggest concerns with it.
So my earlier designs, I did take some of that preservation into consideration. And I had some trim boards for it, which actually would run down where the existing house ended and carry across to kind of define the difference between the existing and the new.
Yeah.
Certainly can put those back in.
I mean, I think I do think that would help quite a bit, because the fact that the roof is, it's like it's been stretched out, which changes I mean, it's a beautifully cute little cottage. And so that, I think, without something to visually break that up, to me, it makes it like, seem like some sort of stretched out.
Sure.
And again, it's like, I understand what you're working with and the lot size, that sort of thing, but I think there's room for improvement to make it more in line with Secretary of Interior standards and just more respectful of the original structure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you're saying that the trim board where the corner board would have been.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
If I have to agree with two of those things, like I think the additional window, if you could, I think especially this is kind of more visible side.
Yeah.
Because of that's going on in that corner. I think that was correct, or at least I agree with it anyway, but the second window would really help. That, I look at that dormer and. We had a case several years ago, but it was very similar in that they were just stretching something out, but it was very different that this is such a small place. That one was already, the size that this would be after addition, and then they were adding onto that. So they agreed to set their addition back like 6 inches, so they actually had a corner board there and that, so, but it was the same kind of argument. Where this one is so small and your constraints, and so not sure that would work here, especially with the dormer and everything, but so maybe the idea of that trim board would be at least help to kind of show, okay, originally, this is what the format of that structure was.
Well, if no other commissioners have any comments, I think we can.
Can we just look at?
Sure.
The back of the house? Yes, that door, that the window to the door, that's not a door. This doesn't belong to me. Just the way I feel, and I think it overpowers.
What I noticed too is that it's not actually symmetrical, and I think that's what.
It's not centered to the bridge.
Yeah, I think that's
correct.
Right.
That's what's.
So the reasoning for that is, we did not want to obstruct the first floor windows with any structural posts.
Sure.
I don't have much room to move that first floor door onto the deck. So in order for me to kind of shift everything and also to make the bedroom and bathroom upstairs, again, with functional space, I had to kind of offset things that way.
The asymmetry, I don't think bothers me as much, because we'll see that so many of the revival and other side hall style are not actually symmetrical. It's the side hall makes it asymmetrical. It's not really lined up 1, 2, 3, which this already has. So I don't think that's. But it is kind of a strange, just like panel sort of window.
Right.
And somebody's gonna run into that thing. All right, well, if we have no other comments, we can open up for public comment if anybody is either online or, I don't think anyone, do you have a public comment?
No one has.
No one online? All right, so I will officially close the public comment period since it seems to be available for that. All right, well, we need a We need another motion, I suppose. Uh,
The lift, the delay.
no, there's no delay,
Oh,
for preferably preserved.
Property preserved.
So a motion that the structure at 13 Union Street is preferably preserved, if anybody would like to.
I can make that motion as said.
Thank you. And a second for that, anyone?
Happy to second.
Thank you, sir. All right, motion on the table, the structure at 13 Union Street is preferably preserved. Andrew Bernard,
Yes,
Mark Sandrone,
Yes,
Ed Normer,
Yes.
and Glenn,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well, so that motion passes. So officially, your house is under a 1-year demo delay. However, soon we could vote either tonight or another meeting to lift the demo delay if we approve the plans.
If I can, so what I'd like to do, is since we are waiting to get on the next, we have to go through zoning. Is maybe that I can clean everything up, make those changes that we talked about, come back to the next meeting, and then you can vote on it at that time.
That'd be great.
Can I make a suggestion, use the skylight?
You can,
That's what it takes to get this done, I'm sure, I mean, I'll have to talk to my clients, but I don't think that's, there's two skylights.
And you're not gonna do, and you're gonna get rid of the door that's not a door to it, or
No.
that can stay.
I didn't mean for them to remove the door, I was just wondering about it, so. That's up to.
In your mind, is that a requirement?
The door
or
that's not a door, no, you can stay.
No, okay.
It could,
I think the skylight sort
I
of,
think that the main things, the things that I noticed were the additional window on
Yeah.
that dormer on that left side. Street view and jump board.
To show preservation of the existing, yep.
yeah, I think doing a rework.
And if you can manage to get your rendering, that would be great, that'd be great.
Get it all straightened out.
But the main thing is obviously that the actual elevations you know on.
all right,
Yeah, I mean, that's great, I was gonna suggest you first, someone.
well, yeah, I think, well, that's great, then we can, we'll move this to, our next meeting or whenever you get on.
Do the next one so I can get right onto zoning.
Yeah, yes, you can talk to
So
Kayla
the next
about getting
meeting
on.
here is September 25th.
Yeah, I'll be ready for you.
Yeah.
Yep,
All right, well, thank you so much.
very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right,
Thank you. Oh, he's telling me, you know, about you.
at least somebody's using it.
Your eye open now? Oh, good. All right.
Thank you. Good night.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you. Got
All right,
very nice family, boy, it's worth.
all right, so, we can move on to our approval of minutes. I'm wondering, how many of us are gonna be able to, is anyone here not able to, or, not able to vote on either of these?
I could vote on the first one,
Yeah, I was here on the 14th.
I wasn't here on the 14th.
Let's see,
Mark, were you around? for
I'm okay to
both?
vote on both.
okay,
Okay, so
I'm on
that's
both.
1, 2, well, I think we
I
have,
the
think we
first
got it.
one,
yeah.
All right.
I think we have 4 and
All right, okay, so,
Oh, that's right. We can vote.
and you had, comments on the one for the 14th?
yeah, just a minor correction.
Okay.
Correction, did you get my email with the minor correction? There. She's muted.
Maybe on mute.
I did, and I responded.
Oh, okay, I didn't see the reply. Okay.
I know, I
All
figured
right.
you'd probably left by then, but I will change it, but I sent you a humorous response.
It's always like, okay, thank you.
All right, I would love a motion to approve the minutes of 7/10/25.
So moved.
All right,
And I will second,
thank you. Andrew,
yes.
Mark,
Yes,
thank you. Ed, you're abstaining?
Right.
And Glenn?
Yes.
And I vote yay as well, so that motion passes. Great, we can finally approve those minutes from 3 months ago. Never it was.
I move to approve the minutes of 8:14.
Oh, thank you. Any
I'll second the
seconds?
motion.
Thank you, Mark.
And I'm gonna have to abstain.
Okay, Andrew is abstaining. Mark Syndrome,
Yes.
thank you. Ed Neumer,
Yes.
thank you. And Glenn,
Yes.
thank you. And I vote yay as well. So that motion passes. So our minutes are all approved. Excellent. A quick update from me, I guess. We had brought up, discussing the maybe possible changes to ordinances or meeting practices and that sort of thing. We'll wait until one, we have a fuller board, I think, but also, when Mr. Port is with us as well to help us along with that. But just quickly, I'll go through kind of, I know I passed a note to some of you, but, we had a discussion, I did with some of the folks, in the planning department separately, and the extension of the demo delay, I think, there was suggestions I got from 2.5 years, 3 years. The more we talked about it and more I looked into it for like case law and stuff, 1.5 years seems like the safest and most plausible route forward, but we can discuss that as a
Can I
group.
just pause on that one?
Sure.
Just because that's one of my beefs is, by the way, I think Amesbury does 1.5 years. Do you guys talk to Amesbury at all? I happened to run into, I was in Andy Man one night, just getting a sandwich. And there's a group at a table that's convening about a house or whatever. We talked a little bit. They said they do 1.5 years. I was the one who first came up with the extreme recommendation of 5 years. Just like, hey. But I was willing to move a little bit, but I'd move to 3. I don't want to move to 1.5 years. I'd say leave it at 1 year. There's no difference to me. But I think the 1 year says, the 1 year and 1.5 years to me is the same, and it basically says go tool up. Because once we release this, it takes you 9 months to tool up anyways, so there's no delay involved.
Yeah.
And I think it's misuse of the word delay. It's not a delay.
Yeah.
3 years is delay. It causes everyone to think.
And I agree with you. I think that our problem is going to be that support for it amongst the council, and possible case law issue with them.
All right,
People have sued because they said you're unlawfully holding my house for an extended period of time.
Almost done.
That's another discussion, but anyway, that's how I got to 1.5 years. And I think would at least be, and I agree, it might not be anything, but I think
it's
maybe that 6 months, another solution can come about.
all right.
But
I don't mean to.
the other thing brought up that I said before was historical significance changing from 75 to 50. It goes along with the national recommendation, state recommendation. I think that's gonna be hard to get support for, but to me, it's like brain deadly stupid not to do it, because like I said, if we're supposed to be taking our cues from Secretary of Interior standards and so forth, like that's what they're saying. So I don't know why we would be different.
Yeah, I think
50 is not that old, it's 50 old.
No, it's not, it's very young.
But you know, it's a sort of a psychological change in mindset. People think of historical structures here in Newburyport. You
Right.
think, 1700
Yeah.
and probably 1800s, but in a lot of
Folks from
places.
Nebraska,
Right,
for example,
right.
that's very old. Anyway, it's a great thing. Historically significant vote, whether we need that first vote. Can we change the language of the ordinance so that our first vote is, that it's considered for preservation?
Yeah.
And it's either yes or no, and if it's yes, we look at the plans, if it's no, they can go to town. the exempt dormers, I don't know if you brought that up or if that was from.
Yeah,
something.
I think Chris also brought it up to change it so that it wouldn't apply to houses older than about 1850.
Oh,
That's the
Well,
one I'm talking about.
oh, okay, well, I had read that differently from. I think what Tricia
Oh,
had
okay.
written, what she was saying is that you can. And I kind of like the idea of it is that if it's something before 1830,
Right,
then you can't just get automatic.
right.
It's like it has to go from
Right.
us, no matter what
Right.
type it is, based on like a end of the federal period.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying too.
It's,
It's
I got,
1830 or 1851.
I think I read both and I got kind of confused, but
Okay, sorry.
something along those lines might be interesting to entertain. And then I think the other big thing is to establish better training, and for us, and we discussed maybe doing biannual meetings. I thought it should be completely separate.
From this thing.
Yeah, but I think it might be hard to do. You know, getting folks from the city to kind of do an extra meeting. There's a lot of other moving parts and stuff, but I do think we should be able to find meetings like, even this one could have been a good one to, if there was more of us here. We, if we just have one case to see, or, one, something that we're not gonna be debating for hours on, it'd be good to do that a couple times a year and just get. I mean, I think, for me, like preservation restrictions, I would like to, it's all a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo, I look at that stuff and I'm like, I can kind of read through here, but it's. I would really love to know better about how to apply that stuff. And I think just the more we go over the dormer standards and the Secretary of Interior standards, all that stuff, I think is just good for us to have in our brains. But anyway, that's what we can discuss when there's more of us and we can maybe actually put together. But other than that, anyone else have anything? No?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Well, you can be this.
Second.
Wait, who seconded it? Who?
Second.
Okay.
So,
I don't.
He said it first, though.
okay.
All right, so look, we can all just say yay.
Yay.
Yay?
Yay.
Motion to adjourn.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you, well done.
Get the wrong out of you.